Hello everybody, it's Saskia here from Little Bunny Bakers. Welcome to Let's Bake Rose Apple Bites. Rose Apple Bites. I don't know about you, but I've had a little bit of spare time on my hands through this whole time in 2020, March 2020, a little bit of spare time on my hands. So I've taken the opportunity to do a little bit more baking than normal, if that's possible. And something that's been on my list for quite a long time are rose apple bites. I love puff pastry. I think there's so many nice things that you can do with it, and so quickly to get a really nice and delicious result. So you're going to need the following things today. You're going to need half of a puff pastry lump. You can have the ready rolled out stuff, that's fine. I just find that the block of puff pastry is a little bit more fluffier, a bit more crunchy when you get your layers. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 apples, doesn't matter which colour, half a lemon, and a little bit of flour when you're going to do your rolling. Now this video's aimed slightly more at older children or adults, but we're going to start with my Bunny Bakers song. Everybody ready? Welcome to Little Bunny Bakers. It's nice to see you here today. We're going to have a lot of fun baking. So come on, let's bake. Hooray! Oh, it's lovely to have you with me. So, first things first, you're going to wash your apples, and then we just need to chop out the middle. If you have an apple corer, now would be a really good time to dig it out of the drawer. I didn't, so I just cut mine in half, and with a knife, I cut in one side and the other side, and I got rid of the middle. So once that's done, you want to turn it on its side with where the core would be facing you, and very carefully you're going to cut some slices. Now you need the slices to be rather thin so that when you roll them later on they bend and roll, rather than if they're too thick they tend to stay solid. So quite thin. There we go. That's it. When I was about 19 years old, I worked for one very long summer in Kent on a farm, an apple and pear farm. So I picked an awful lot of apples and an awful lot of pears. I also ate an awful lot of apples and an awful lot of pears. It was lovely being outside actually, lots of fresh air, and there's nothing like an apple or a pear picked straight from the tree. There really is something delicious about growing your own food. Like many people, I've been busy in the garden in the last couple of weeks, planting. I've got some spring onions I put in, some strawberries, some lettuce. The beans and tomatoes are looking very sorry for themselves. I love cooking, I really enjoy cooking. Gardening is not quite my strong point, but I'll give it a go anyway. Right, so once you cut your apple, you need a bowl that can go in the microwave. If you don't have a microwave, you can just do this on the hob. That's fine as well. So I'm going to put the apple into the bowl. And then you're going to squeeze half a lemon on top. If you have a lemon squeezer, you can use that, or you can just squeeze it with your hand and catch the pips with your other hand. There we are. Don't do this if you have any cuts on your hand. Oh, there we go. Delicious. That's it. And then on top of that, you're going to add 500 millilitres of water. So we just want them completely covered. There we go. And then if you have a microwave, that's going to go in for 4 minutes. If you're doing it on the hob, 4 or 5 minutes as well. We want them to be softened, ready for rolling. So I'm going to pop those into the microwave. There we go. Meanwhile, we can get our pastry ready. So we're going to get a little bit of flour and dust your surface. I often hear people saying one of the nicest things about coming to bake with me at Little Bernie Bakers here at the Borough is that you don't get all the mess. And I do all your washing up as well. So it's quite a nice way to cook. But there's nothing like cooking at home. So make sure your hands are dusted with some flour. If your oven isn't on, now's a good time to pop it on at 180 degrees. Make sure your rolling pin is dusted and then just gently roll it out. We're aiming for a rectangle shape. We're aiming for a rectangle. Gently rolling it. We want the thickness of about a £1 coin. There we go. Yeah, that's almost there. One more turn, I think. There, lovely. Right, so I'm now going to bring back my chopping board and sprinkle the flour on there. Pop it back on the chopping board. There. So the next thing we need to do is to spread 1 or 2 teaspoons, depending on how strong you like it, of jam on top of your pastry. If you have any apricot jam in, that's nice. If you have any strawberry, blackcurrant, any kind of jam works really well at this point. I'm a particular fan of raspberry, so I've gone for raspberry today. So I'll just pop a couple of spoons on the pastry. And then just with the back of your spoon, you're going to spread it around so it covers all of the pastry. That's it. One of the lovely things I find about cooking is that when you're cooking with children, you can share the jobs. So there are some things that are easier for children to help with. Spreading the jam, for example, or rolling the pastry would be a great thing for children to help with, whereas you could cut the apples yourselves in advance. Obviously, if you're an older baker or an adult baker, you can do it all by yourselves. There we go, so right to the edge. And then on top of that, we're going to be putting a mix of 2 tablespoons of caster sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm just going to pop that in a bowl to begin with and give it a good mix. Oh, that's delicious. Can you smell it? That would be good, wouldn't it? Video smell vision. There we go. I'll take these out of the microwave. Oh gosh, they're very hot. I'll just get a tea towel. There we go. Pop those there for a moment. So we were mixing the sugar and cinnamon together, and what we're going to do next, this is quite a fun one for children actually, is we're just going to get it in our hand and sprinkle it on. Look at that, beautiful. That's it, we're just going to make sure it's nice and covered for us ready here. All done. Okay, so I'm just going to test. Yeah, my apples are nice and bendy, ready to use. I've just got a plate here with some kitchen roll on, just to soak up the moisture before I put it onto my pastry. So pull those out. Just give them a little bit of a blot. Lovely. Okay. So we've got our puff pastry here ready. It's got the jam on, it's got the cinnamon and sugar mix sprinkled over. And what you want to do is divide it into 6 with your knife. So generally I start in the middle, cut it in half, and then I cut the remaining 2 halves twice to make thirds. So they're just under an inch each, about 2 centimeters wide. There we go. I'll just cut 3 to show you for now. Move that aside for a moment. There we go. There. So we've got our strip of pastry here ready. And what we're going to do is take the apples with the archway like this and place them along the pastry. Now they slightly overlap as they go along like this. I might put some photos in the description as well so you can really see this point. And then when we get to the end, we're going to be rolling it up. Now to bake them in, you can either use just a plain baking tray like this. If you just have a plain baking tray, just line the holes with some butter so it doesn't stick. I have some silicone cases here which work really well. If you have a silicone baking tray, even better. That would be a good option to have. So I've got my baking tray, silicone or butter in the holes, and then you're going to, starting from the edge, roll it up very tightly, very, very tightly, and as you get to the apple, it's going to roll up with the pastry. There we go. Until it reaches the end and we get this beautiful apple shape. Can you see that? So I'll pop that in one of the holes and I'll do the next one. So I've got my pastry strip. I place the apples overlapping slightly, each one. You're probably wanting about 6 apple halves in each strip. And then I'm going to roll it up from the bottom, nice and tight. If the apple starts slipping out at the top, just tuck it back in with your fingers. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I'm pleased with that one, that looks nice. There we go. And you continue, and you should get 6 from half a block of pastry and 2 apples. So what you're going to do next is you're going to pop that into the oven for about 20 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want the apple to burn, but you want the puff pastry to be fully cooked. So about 20 minutes in the oven, let them cool for about 10 minutes on the side, and then if you take them out of the cases and then dust a little bit of icing sugar on top, you should get one of these. And they're absolutely delicious. Shall I try it? Yeah, they're delicious. They really are. Absolutely delicious. What a lovely treat. They'd be perfect with a little bit of ice cream or a little bit of custard or cream. Absolute treat. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for Little Bunny Baker's Let's Bake Apple Rose Bites. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck. Let me know how you get on. Send me a photo. I'd love to see it. Thank you for joining me. We'll finish with our song. Little Bunny Bakers, we've had some fun. We've baked a lot. Now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Good luck. Thank you.